So in this video, I wanted to highlight these two guys on my private mentorship group that are currently killing it. They've been in here for about 2 months and they've came close to $50,000 in assignment fees. They have a crazy backstory. They came from a separate mentorship group where they were in for 4 months and didn't make a dollar back. That goes to show you my mentorship abilities and their grit that they had of not quitting after doing something like that or going through an experience like that. And I also wanted to show you guys what it looks like to be on that other side of the coin of taking action, of taking that first step, of saying, I'm going to make this work no matter what. I think this is going to be really motivational for you guys. Take a look at what my results look like and how you could be the same.
What advice would you give to somebody that's looking from the outside in of you guys closing your first couple deals and making how much have you guys closed
Almost,
already?
was it almost 40 or I don't know,
Almost 40
35 to
grand.
40, which
And
we got the lead in under a
I
week
mean,
and
we
a half
got Roy
ago.
too, so
yeah,
Yeah, like we got the lead that got us the big like $25,000 fee in
yeah,
I think within a week or a week and a half of joining the mentorship.
yeah.
but hey, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're cl almost close to 50 grand, 45 to 50 grand is kind of what we made. Look, like, it's not so much about how much we made, but it's in how long we made. In Jay's mentorship program, we were only in there for 2 weeks, and then we had gotten like 3 deals under contract. 2 weeks in, 2 weeks in. I mean, 2, 3 weeks in, and then after that, we finally closed our deals and we made 40 grand and just a span. I mean, right now we've only been in the program, I think, for almost 2 months now, but
Yeah.
I mean, 40 grand in the span of, a month or so. I mean, that I think that's pretty solid.
So this is Joey and Josh. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Happy to
Good,
be
good.
here.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Tell us your backstory. I don't know, Joey, you want to start or Josh, you want to start first, whichever way.
Yeah, sure, I'll go ahead. I guess basically I kind of just normal life. I just most of the time I've always been, watching YouTube videos or researching some way to make like more than the usual amount of money or do something that's just different because I could never really picture myself in just a regular job. It was either, starting some business or doing some job that very few people do. And I mean, shit, I watched, you know, real estate investing YouTube videos when I was like 13. And so I never really took the step to starting it until about 7 months ago. So
Mhm.
that's kind of when I, finally was like, okay, well, what is this wholesale thing? And then I started looking a bit more into it and eventually started it. But I don't know, Josh.
Yeah, so how I started, typically I started somewhere around 13, 14 years old. I would always just pretty much try to, get some deals or something like that. I tried starting off trying to become an agent at some point. I
Yeah.
would cold call for other people. I would cold call agents themselves to see if I could get some type of internship. And, I got lucky enough and I was able to, get an internship with some guy in in Santa Monica. It was pretty great, until I did give up because he had me doing cold calls and I wasn't able to really you know, do that. I was unsure what I was really doing, so it really just motivated me, and I never continued with it.
And
But
Josh, you're based out of California, right?
yeah, I'm in California.
And then Joey, you're based out of,
I'm out of Tacoma, Washington, but I grew up in Montana.
okay. So
So
two different cities. How did you guys meet?
we
And
we ended up meeting through a whole mentorship program. Should we say the name?
Don't say it. Don't say
Yeah,
it.
we met in this mentorship program that really wasn't, I guess, maybe the best program.
Yeah.
We met through there. We were there just kind of sitting there and just like, hey, like, I mean, have you gotten any deals? Kind of whispering to each other, hey man, what should I do here? What should I do over here?
Yeah.
And we were just kind of giving each other advice until we realized that, we weren't really getting anywhere.
Mhm.
At some point Joey almost gave up. He didn't want to, continue. And I was like, yo, man, we gotta keep going at it. We gotta keep trying, you
Yeah.
know. But that's we later on we kind of decided to join together, join forces and become a team and now we decided to move over to Jay's program and this is where we've been seeing results now, a lot better results. And trust me, the guidance you get from the other program we were previously in, it's definitely a big
A
change.
difference. Yeah, it was a lot better. The last group we would, like time after time after time, we'd sign up for like a one-on-one call and we'd just get stood up every single time. And the group calls kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger because they kept adding way too many people into the group. And so the quality of coaching you'd get just kept going down every single day. So we were like, hold up, this is kind of not really benefiting us anymore, especially not for the thousands of dollars we paid. So we both were like, I think we'll be best if we go join forces, like he said, and then also move on to somebody else. And uh, Josh had been looking at Jay's mentorship and just watching his videos, and we made the
How
leap.
did you who saw me first and how did you see my stuff?
Josh,
I saw you first, Jay. I saw you. I actually saw you a little bit before I went into CAMS. I mean, into the other mentorship program.
Yeah.
And, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, this Jay guy, he seems like bullshit. Seems like he's a new guy, like he's barely getting into it. I'm just gonna go in with the other guy that
Yeah.
has a high-rise apartment, flexes this, flexes that. And I'm just like, you know what? That guy seems like the real deal. He has everything.
Yeah.
And, I decided to go with the other mentorship program. But then later on, I realized it was a load of, doo-doo. And that's when me and Joey kind of made the decision on trying to go into Jay. But actually before that, I actually did try to get into Jay's program, but I was actually broke and I
Yeah.
didn't have money at the time. And I scheduled an onboarding call. And that onboarding call day came and I decided, hey, I want to do it, this and that, but I guess I just didn't have any money. So
And now we're here. I know Josh, you brought up that Joey was at a point of quitting at one point, right? And you guys kind of stuck together and got through that. And then I know Joey, you mentioned that you tried multiple other businesses, but you got to that breaking point where majority of people quit because they haven't gotten the result that they want, right?
yeah.
And then you guys went into a mentorship before mine. You were there for 4 months and didn't close the deal. Why didn't you quit after those 4 months?
It's a good question, I guess. We just kind of found a new drive. And I mean, a partnership isn't for everybody. I mean, it really isn't. But if you can find the right person and you guys can find a way to work together, I think it can be very beneficial because we were able to, talk about the dreams with each other, talk each other out of things, talk each other into things, problem solve with each other. And I think that's
Yeah.
probably what saved us because if we didn't have each other, as corny as it sounds, like we probably at least I would have probably quit and maybe even Josh too because it was really hard. Like like 1,000 dials every single day with like no leads to show for it. It
Right.
was it was hard.
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely brutal. I mean, we used to cold call a lot. I mean, we used to cold call $1,000 to $1,500 a day, get as many contacts as we can, and we'd get discouraged because when I tell you not even one lead, I mean, I'm serious. Not even one lead. I was calling
Yeah.
somewhere in California, and everyone was just very frustrated, and that's very unmotivating because it's like, hey, man, does this stuff even work?
Yeah.
That's when Joey was like, "Hey, like, man, I don't know." He would lie to me at some point. Yeah, I would call him up. I'd be like, "Hey, man, did you do your calls?" He's like, "Yeah, I would do my call. I did do my calls, but he
I do
didn't."
like none or like five.
Yeah.
And I mean, I told him, "Hey, man, we got to stick together. We got to keep doing it. Otherwise, we're not going to see any results." And that's true for the most part, which is very true. I mean, but at some point, also, if you're going the wrong direction, you will never see results. And that's why when we got into Jay's program, we were doing our DAOs. We were so used to doing so much volume that whenever we went into Jay's program, we realized that, hey, it does not take that many dials. It does not take that many contacts. It's just really where you're at,
Yeah.
right? It's the structure that you gave us, that you provided us on how to do certain things. It was way different than how we started. It wasn't, a lot of people get discouraged because they start in their hometown, right? They start in their local town and it's like they go driving for dollars, they start cold calling people around, they do pre-foreclosures, don't know the process in a pre-foreclosure. And it just really it's like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing. And then they get dismotivated and they leave. So
So you guys didn't go to college. You knew real estate somewhat was going to be the way that you guys wanted to go to. You went through the mentorship, it didn't go good. From being in a bad mentorship, what made you want to go into a whole nother mentorship and pay again thousands and thousands of dollars?
yeah,
Whose idea was it, and how did that kind of come up?
it was actually my idea.
I think it was joint though in a way, I guess,
Yeah,
because we knew there was something we were missing.
yeah.
It's just
But I
he,
guess, yeah, but like to answer the question, I mean, it is crazy, right? I feel like someone would quit after the first time of,
100%.
spending $4,000, $5,000 or whatever into the
Yeah,
first thing and it didn't happen and feel like they got ripped off.
yeah.
The only reason we continued and did it was because we truly believe this works. This works. This we truly believe we can really, you know, do something with our lives. We truly believe that, hey, not everyone's the same. Not, if other people are doing it, why can't we do it?
What advice would you give to somebody that's looking from the outside in of you guys closing your first couple deals and making how much have you guys closed
almost
already?
was it almost 40 or I don't know,
Almost 40
35,
grand.
40. Which
And
the lead we got the lead in under a
I
week
mean,
and a
we
half.
got Roy
Under
too, so
yeah,
yeah, like we got the lead that got us the big like $25,000 fee in
yeah,
I think within a week or a week and a half of joining the mentorship.
yeah.
but hey, I mean, yeah, just I mean, we're cl almost close to 50 grand, 45 to 50 grand is kind of what we made. Look, like, it's not so much about how much we made, but it's in how long we made. In Jay's mentorship program, we were only in there for 2 weeks, and then we had gotten like 3 deals under contract. 2 weeks in, 2 weeks in, I mean, 3 weeks in, and then after that, we finally closed our deals and we made 40 grand. And just the span, I mean, right now we've only been in the program, I think, for almost 2 months now, but
Yeah,
I mean, 40 grand in the span of, a month or so. I mean, I think that's pretty solid.
yeah.
So,
I think, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. I would say that one thing I feel like that stands out from you guys is that you're going. Like you take my advice and you put it into fruition, you put it into work, and you let the process work. A lot of
Yeah,
people, I mean, it kind of shows from you guys' experience. You went the 4 months, which it was probably a couple months before you guys even joined that mentorship. So what, 5, 6 months, no deals, no money made, and you're still going, right? So all you guys needed was the right direction and what to do, right? The right structure. And boom, you
exactly.
got results. So that just goes to show you that while you might be doing all the work possible, if you're doing it at the wrong thing, you're not going to get results.
Yeah, yeah, I guess and then what you were asking like what advice I just kind of going off that is you gotta just put in the work. Like you have to when Jay says do 40 contacts, do 50 contacts. Like put the freaking work in. And you also have to like as much as it is putting the work in, as dumb as it sounds sometimes, you have to have the right mindset. Like you have to be, we say you have to be delusional. Like you have to truly believe 6 months, you're gonna have that car or you're gonna have
Yeah.
that apartment because if you don't, then it's not gonna happen if you don't believe in it. And we fully believe like our cool car we want is just it's getting built right now. We've got to wait a few months for it, but we're
Yeah.
putting in the work in the meantime to actually achieve those dreams. And
Yeah.
you got to believe it in your mind and you've got to actually produce the work to do it.
yeah, strive for the best, keep on going, and do what you got to do. Always, you can only manifest so much, but if you're not putting in that work, it's never going to happen. Never. You can go all to these car meets, you could go out to these, see all these apartments, go waste dealership, go waste your time at a dealership, rent out cars, but if you're not doing any work,
Yeah.
it's never going to happen. Never.
Were you, Joey, on the call with Josh when you guys first joined the program?
Yeah, I was on the call, not the one when he called and then kind of left, but
Yeah,
the one when we
the second
actually
one.
joined. I was on the call, yeah.
If you were looking at this is for both of you. If you're looking at the person that was on that call at the moment, so in perspective, looking at your past self since you joined the program, what would you tell that person?
Good question.
I don't know
I
what you
tell
think.
that person that you're doing the right thing and to not really be scared or feel like, hey, you're just gonna end up wasting another, few grand. You're
Yeah,
not. This is actually gonna pay off, and it's gonna pay off very soon, as long as you put in that work.
yeah,
I'd basically pat myself in the back and be like, hey man, you're doing the right choice.
Yeah,
Good
not
job.
looking at it, don't look at it so much as a risk and like looking at these things as investments. Like if you go spend, 500 bucks on, skips for cold calling, you're not like spending the money, you're not risking the money so much, you're investing the money. And I think I'd tell myself to I'd remind myself to think of this as an investment. And sure, it's risky. All investments are risky, but who cares? You were in this other program, it didn't work out. Here's another chance. And if once you get in this group, give it your all. And if nothing happens, Jay said he'd give you your money back. So if you put in the work that he asks of you and nothing comes of it, there is no risk. So who cares?
yeah. The the stuff is there. The stuff is there. You guys can clearly see it, these guys, which I'm super fucking proud of you guys. I remember the first call that we got on. I remember John texted me. He was like, yo, I got these two guys. They came from this other guy's group. They didn't get any results. I was like, bro, let them in. And then I got on the call with you guys. I was like, bro, you guys are gonna close fucking deals. I think I might have the recording. I don't know if I do, but I remember on that call. I'm pretty sure you guys remember too. I was like, bro, you guys are gonna fucking kill it.
Yeah, you told us that same month we would get a deal, and we did get a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing I remember is I think we were talking about like we were just chatting about like, cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Josh was talking about getting a high rise. I was just like, bro, I just want to quit my job. And then I muttered like, well, I kind of want to get, Audi R8 or whatever. And he's like, 6 months you'll have it. And I was like, what? You gotta be blowing smoke at my ass. But I'm not playing. He is not doing that. Like that is something that can actually happen in the
Yeah.
next 4 or 5 months right now.
Yeah. You have to fully believe this shit works before it does. And that's from my experience. Clearly, you guys are a result of that, believing that it's possible without seeing the result just yet, being delusional enough to think that a month into a business, which hasn't worked in the past, worked out. You gotta be somewhat delusional. But nobody that's not delusional is a winner. So
Yeah.
it's like, you want to be realistic, keep being a loser.
Yeah, stuff doesn't just fall into your lap. You've got to like have the vision and the idea before it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, a month or 2 months ago, I didn't think I was gonna have the opportunity to actually quit my job and actually go live out in a high rise in a different
Yeah.
country.
Which is
And now
fucking
guess what? Guess what? I'm gonna be in a high rise in 2 months and literally on March 1. So if you're
yeah.
watching the video in March 1, March 2, I'm in my high rise right now.
That's so fucking sick, bro. That's fire. Nah, I appreciate you guys. But yeah, like I said, like outside of this, like I'm really fucking proud of you guys.
If you're looking to close your next deal in the next 30 to 45 days, you can click the link down below, watch my free training, and if you want me to coach you one-on-one to make sure you close that deal and scale to 2 to 3 deals a month, you can book a call with my team, and if it makes sense, we'll get you in the program, get you started, and get you closing some deals.